Hi everyone, it's Charity again. I was having some technical difficulties with my laptop there and I couldn't get the microphone to work. I still don't know what the problem is, so I will have to deal with that later, but I at least wanted to jump on here and give you guys the video as per usual and not try to drop the ball as far as that goes. So thanks for hanging in there. Those of you who are rejoining, I appreciate your patience. Didn't want to miss out on this. So anyway, so as I was saying, hopefully you guys are going to enjoy a nice long Labor Day weekend. I know that a lot of you are probably chasing after some timesheets this week and making sure that your travelers are getting paid on time, as well you should, right? Also, a big exciting thing happening this weekend is that we've got some football kicking off. Most notably, the Nebraska Cornhuskers are going to be playing their first game. I'm sure all of you will be watching intently for that. If you don't support the Huskers, that's fine. Nobody's perfect, right? Hey there, Tom. Thank you for joining. I hope you can hear me because I tried this a little bit ago and nobody could hear me. So hopefully switching to my cell phone is going to solve the problem temporarily. So anyway, today's topic I want to talk about, even though it's, oh, yay! I'm so happy to hear that. Thank you so much. Now you don't have to do any lip reading. So anyway, today I want to talk to you about something that is might be a little bit direct, but I think it's something that we should be talking about. Go Bucks, come on, get out of here. Anywho, just kidding. Something that we should be talking about within our agencies is the fact that a lot of recruiters in our industry don't make it very long in this business. And I read something on LinkedIn, I think it was yesterday or the day before. It was just a quick little headline that I read, but something to the effect of that recruiters in our industry make it about 3 years on average in this business. 3 years. I don't know about you, but to me I guess it's not super surprising, but it's a very sobering fact. And it's testament to how difficult and challenging our business can be. So I wanted to chat with you guys about that today and go over some of the reasons why I think that recruiters don't last very long in this business. And I'm not going off of any reports here. This is not cold hard evidence by any means. This is just me basing this off my own experience, my own observations, my own coaching clients and that sort of thing. What I think, my 2 cents on why I think recruiters don't make it for very long in this business. The first thing that I think prevents us from lasting long is that we expect success to happen quickly. And I'm sure all of us, and maybe we were those people, we were hoping that travelers were just going to rain down from the skies and we were going to have plenty of opportunities that to place people and that we were just going to, reach a full desk within a year or even less. We had all these high hopes and dreams of being able to work with people and cash the checks and be super happy. And as you all know now, it doesn't quite work that way. We have to work very hard in this business and it's a lot of monotonous work. It's a grind. And unless you are prepared to wait it out and work consistently and work hard over a long period of time, you are simply just not going to make it in this business, just to keep things pretty blunt here. So if you expect success to happen quickly for you, then this is probably not the right job for you, just to be honest with you. So I think that's the first thing, is that we expect success to happen quickly. I would add to that we give away our own control in terms of our own success. So those of us who tend to point the fingers at our managers or at not having enough leads or at the systems not working or account managers not working hard enough for our travelers and our candidates and this and that and the other. If you keep giving away your own power and your own control instead of owning your part in the process and continually developing yourself in this business, then you're not going to make it. Again, it's just one of those things where you have to be fully responsible for your own success, which is a great thing about this job, but it's also something I think that causes a lot of people to fail at this job. The second thing that I feel like recruiters struggle with is that they don't adapt in this business. As you all know, there are a lot of things that seem to never change in this industry, but there are a lot of things that are constantly changing in this business. And if you're a recruiter and you're not adjusting to the ebbs and flows of the market and you're not keeping up with the market trends, and you are not adjusting your own personal methods, such as your time management strategies, your organizational strategies, then you may not last very long. You really have to constantly be reevaluating yourself, your process, continually finding ways to get better at what you're doing and to adjust with the demands of the market in order to be successful, not just in this business, but really in any business. What's working for you now isn't necessarily going to work for you 5 years from now. So you have to be very aware of that. Another thing I think that holds recruiters back from being successful in this industry is that we take rejection and a lot of other things very personally. And those of you who've been doing this for a while, you know that rejection happens every day. It seems like every minute of every day sometimes, right? We have those really rough days where it's like, we can't get a single person to fill out a profile to save our lives. And it can get very, it can burn us out. It can get very frustrating. It can get depressing. We're constantly questioning, why are we doing this, and that kind of thing. But the recruiters who do well in this industry understand that rejection is just part of the business. And we're not in this to get rejected. We're in this to find the people who need our help. And there are a lot of people out there who need our help, but sometimes you have to go through the crap to find them. That's just the reality of it. We have to deal with a lot of the not so great stuff in order to find those special people that need our help and that we can build those relationships with. So unless you're willing to work through a lot of that sludge to get to the good stuff, then maybe you may not last very long in this business. The next thing that I think causes recruiters not to last long is that they're not getting the proper support that they need. And that support can come in many different forms, but some examples would be agencies and management expecting a lot from them, especially early on. So having unrealistic expectations of where recruiters should be and how they should be performing, especially within the first year of them being on the job. Sometimes agencies adopt what I call a culture of punishment, where it's sort of one of those you better do this or else kind of things. So they're more than happy to give you a warning on something or write you up for something or put you on a performance plan if you're not achieving metrics and that sort of thing. But they're not as willing to give you proper training and make sure that you have access to good tools and good resources. So it's sort of one of those punitive type environments that it doesn't encourage people. It's not conducive for people to be successful. Also, employees may not see that they have value and that there's a greater purpose. If you're going into work and your purpose is to make your company as much money as possible and make sure that you get as many placements as you can to avoid getting fired, that's not really, in my opinion, a very good sense of purpose. And that's not going to help you feel valuable. It's not going to help you feel like you're really contributing to something bigger. You're just doing something at that point out of fear, and it's not motivating you. And it might motivate you in the short term, but it's certainly not going to motivate you long term. And you're not going to last very long if that's all you're doing is trying to avoid being punished or reprimanded for something. And finally, the one thing I think that recruiters struggle with, and maybe why they don't last very long in this business, is because they're not taking care of themselves. So we know that nurses have a tendency to sort of put others before themselves, and they don't get respected very often in their jobs and that sort of thing. And I think recruiters is kind of the same way. And I'm not trying to compare our jobs to their jobs because they're very different things. But I think that recruiters, we have to be very mindful about how difficult our profession is. And I know so many recruiters that won't take time off. They just cannot take time off because they feel like they can't for whatever reason. Maybe they are afraid of getting reprimanded for it. Maybe they're afraid of losing travelers to other people. They're afraid of things going wrong. But here's the thing, guys, we have to take care of ourselves and give ourselves the attention that we need in order for us to be good recruiters. So it's kind of like that old saying, you can't pour from a cup that's half full. I don't know if that's actually the saying, an empty cup, something like that. Anyway, you get the idea. So you have to make sure that you're taking care of yourself first. Otherwise, nobody's going to get anything from you. You're not going to be the best recruiter you can be. You can't be the best parent you can be. You can't be the best spouse you can be if you are burnt out and you're worried about things falling apart all the time. I guarantee you, if you take a couple of days off of work, the world is not going to come to a crashing halt. the apocalypse is most likely not going to happen. Treat yourself to what is going to fill your cup back up again. You deserve to do that, and you absolutely need to do that if you're going to make it very long in this business. So those are my thoughts. I would love to hear your thoughts, why you think recruiters don't last very long in this industry. I mean, 3 years, if you're making it 3 years, you're basically a veteran at this point, which is crazy to me. But I would be very curious to hear what you guys think about that, and any other feedback that you have, and any other suggestions that you all have for any future topics that we can cover in these live sessions. Thanks again for dealing with my technical difficulties. I appreciate you all joining today, and we will look forward to seeing you guys again next week. Take it easy. Enjoy your big holiday weekend. Go Big Red.